just arrived at an ancient cemetery in Buenos Aires for a tour. I was told to look for someone in an orange shirt, and I think I found them. The cemetery started in 1760. Look like an old lady. Today I'm taking a tour of Recoleta Cemetery. This is the center of the cemetery. This is an old Jesus. They constructed this, I forget, she told me about why he's old Jesus, not a young Jesus. But time to take a tour of the cemetery. I love ancient cemeteries because they're so extravagant. These are where they house whole families. That's crazy. Hola, gato.
I'm going to be your guide today on this tour that we'll be taking us all. That the tour that we're about to do normally takes a little bit under 2 hours to complete. So around 5:30 tops, we're normally done with this. So you can start with the fact that this was the first public cemetery that we ever had in the city. It is very important to make that distinction why. Because remember that the city of Buenos Aires was founded by the Spanish in the year 1580. It had a very surprising price of over $200,000.
If the families don't want them anymore, they can
sell these. I was not able to find anything above $60,000 here.
That's awesome, awesome, magnificent mausoleum. So apparently this is an important grave, and this lady has a doggo.
Anna passed away not so long ago for the standards of the cemetery. She passed away in the year 1970 in a Liliana, poor thing though, was so deep underneath the snow that they couldn't reach her in time. They looked and they looked, but they couldn't find her, and eventually when she was found, she had already passed away.
So they bury people downstairs. So the cemetery has 8 alleys. These are all the alleys. That's my group. I'm about to rejoin them in just a minute. There's 8 alleys. But then there's also lots of side alleys. Oh, this is a cool building. Mausoleum. That's cool. You can see the dead buried area in there. These are the really, really old ones. They're just individual, but then most of these are for whole families. I always think it's so cool to go to these ancient cemeteries like that have been around for hundreds of years and see how these families and famous people and government people were buried. It's cool. Well, this is definitely the largest mausoleum here.
The big grave that we have over here. A grave that is very, very interesting on a number of different levels. First of all, it is big, it is impressive. Sometimes people see this from a distance and wonder, like, is this another grave? Yeah, it is another grave. One that is confirmed to belong to a Jewish family. Sometimes when we first see this, people wonder, is this that one Jewish grave of Recoleta? Mostly because of the presence of the menorah, the 7-armed candelabra. Sometimes this man named Giovanni Battista Villa, an Italian artist. Apparently, Battista Villa wanted to incorporate a biblical scene to the design of this grave, and he wanted to on the inside.
So they go downstairs, and that's where they bury the people.
Many of this very is piled up over there, but then because of the visibility that this grave's,
so you can see, well, there's reflections, but you can see the caskets in there. This is definitely a newer section of the cemetery. Well, that's extraordinarily special. There are lots of burial streets off of the main course. Somebody, it was not me, broke into here. But that's amazing to see these coffins. I guess they were looking for something valuable. This Recoleta is the first public cemetery in Buenos Aires. So you didn't have to be Catholic. You could be Jewish. There are actually a fair amount of Jewish people here in Argentina. You could be atheist, although they didn't tell too many people that they were atheists because Catholics are judgmental. This is amazing. What? That's so huge. I'm leaving the tour a little bit early because I'm very hungry. But she gives a lot of information, a lot of history. It's really cool coming here. I highly recommend this. Well, now that I left my group, also, I gotta find my way out. Pretty sure I know the way-ish. I'll figure it out. This is a very fancy, obviously, like, brand new one. Go downstairs and see where the people are buried. I'm about to leave. Obviously, that's why there's a salida sign. But look at how huge these things are.